Julia, thank you for joining me. I can imagine your role as Senior Associate Dean of Innovation and Transformation at London Business School is both exciting and challenging. As we know, AI is changing the conversation in every corner of higher education, but business schools face some unique challenges and opportunities. I'd like to go deeper into what this actually means for teaching and learning. So let's start with one of the toughest tensions. How should schools balance the push to experiment with AI against the responsibility to maintain academic integrity and trust with students, employers, and society?
Little question, yeah, Charlotte.
Exactly.
A big challenge. I think as we talked a little bit about it before, you say the responsibility of business schools. Let's strip it back a little bit. Like really what fundamentally are business schools about? And I will go to sort of very the core. One is research, and research that our faculty do, and that research has an impact on government policies, on business, and on society. And the other piece, as you were saying, the teaching and learning. Also, how do we equip the participants, the students, with the knowledge, with the skills, and also the mindset? So if we go back to those basics, actually AI, I don't want to simplify it too much, but AI is a way of thinking. It's also a tool for our learners. It's risks and challenges, but it's also from a staff employee perspective. It's also interesting tools that we apply in the classroom or in the ways of working. So that's, I would say, let's first start with what are business schools about, and then what AI, again, how it can come in. So to build on, if we start looking at the teaching and learning side of things, one is teaching and learning AI as a content, AI, the opportunities that businesses have with AI, understanding them, thinking of them, possibly being ahead of what AI is actually delivering to us. And the other side of it is AI as a tool, how AI can help faculty in delivering the material, how it can help faculty to potentially give more tailored feedback to students when they're learning. Also from a progression point of view, students can see more where they are stronger, where they might have areas that they need to develop further. So this is just a couple of thoughts on where AI comes in and what business schools do.
And in terms of the trust and academic integrity piece, how does the balance work in practice there? How are you seeing universities navigate this quite challenging landscape?
Definitely. I think, again, academic institutions live and die by their reputation. And if you go back to the essence of the teaching and learning, it is about quality. And it is around the learners acquiring the skills, and this is where accreditation comes in. When we say somebody has met the requirements of a course, that is a stamp of trust, coming back to the trust, because it's not only the trust of the learners, it's the trust of the employers and then colleagues who you're then working with, that actually the education you've received is of a certain standard. So that is very important. And where we see some of the dangers of AI, I mean, I know we talk about ChatGPT, but there's so many others of these tools. It's around not taking what AI is delivering to you on face value. It still is the responsibility of the learners, and also those who are delivering the teaching, around going back to critical thinking. Yes, AI can, as a tool, accelerate. It can actually be your thinking partner, but when we're learning, it's fundamentally about the individual's critical thinking and challenging AI.
And to build on that a little bit, you mentioned that AI tools can replicate or automate certain learning tasks. It can help in certain ways, but business schools are known for the value of their classroom. We focus on dialogue, the case method, peer-to-peer exchange. In what ways can AI actually enhance that in-person value rather than replace it?
I think we touched upon it a little bit. In the pandemic, we all flipped to online, got through it, and then there has been a reaction, potentially, possibly going back. I think there's some kind of medium. And again, when AI, what is AI? I mean, we sort of thrown in digital learning in there. AI, yes, it's also can be machine learning. So it's a very broad concept. I think we still, as business schools, need to define what it means. So I will talk about digital in the broader sense, but where it can help, it's learners, we've seen it, and I think we've discussed around SEC also seeing that post-pandemic people do want to come together. But some of the maybe foundational concepts, those can be taken outside of the classroom. Also, AI could be your assistant, learning assistant. If the language that you're learning is not your native language, that's where AI, and if it's developed within the learning institution, can actually be that tailored learning agent. That's where the learner can really spend more time understanding a concept, breaking it down. That's where I think AI can come in and support that. It can also help with assessment. For example, if you want to test your own learning, again, there's this sort of trial run. You see where your weaknesses are in your knowledge or how you apply that knowledge.
Now, we know that AI is affecting all jobs. And if we accept that AI is going to be part of the learning environment, it means that probably faculty roles and their teaching roles will evolve. How do we best support faculty as they start teaching in this AI-rich world?
Well, my general belief is never force anybody, because if you force,
no
you get a push. And again, that's from my own experience. I think it's really starting off with experimentation. It's trialing things out, and trialing things out in a safe environment that you don't need to. You play with it. There's something around being playful with anything you do, because you don't have the pressure of it needs to be perfect. We talked about it. What is experimentation? You have to have the freedom to fail. You're not punished for the failure. You trial things out, and that's where it's faculty. It's same with students, and the same with staff. Trial it out. Make it a safe environment to trial and experiment, and then you start going on this sort of continuous improvement cycle.
And finally, none of this happens without people. So from your perspective, how do you build a culture of innovation among faculty, staff, at a broader level within a business school when it comes to AI adoption?
Well, building on my point that I made, don't push it. It's not enforceable. It's not a top-down command and control culture. Definitely need to have the leadership to be a champion of that, to be a sponsor and create that safe environment. But fundamentally, you start with early adopters, those who want to play with it. And in the projects that we've done, what I've found is always walk away from the individual. It's not something's wrong with the individual, or the individual is to blame that something's not working or resisting. You go to a common challenge or problem. What we've done was say, what's your pain point? And surprisingly, we all start coming up with similar pain points. So this is where AI is very interesting. One of the projects that the team is working on at the moment is to look at within a process, within the library, supplying cases and research materials to faculty and to students, big volume of information coming in. So rather than saying this element of the process isn't working or this isn't, where are the pain points? How can we smooth that out? And where can AI help it? So it's coming back. I'm very much a proponent of a win-win situation that everybody benefits. But take it out of the individual and put it into what's the opportunity and what's the win-win, and build an environment of trust that this is not about somebody not being able to do it. It's play with it, experiment with it.
Julia, thank you. This has been such a rich discussion. Business schools are clearly navigating uncharted waters with AI, but your insights have helped us not just to see the risks, but also the opportunities. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.